America. And first of all, let me tell you, he is not welcome to Mexico. By 130 million people, we don't like him, we don't want him, we reject his visit. I don't understand why President Peña has offered this opportunity. I think it's nothing more than a political stunt. Trump is using, Mexico is using President Peña to boost his sinking poll numbers. I think the President Peña is taking an enormous political risk by hosting Trump. If he's perceived as going soft on Trump, it will hurt him greatly. He would even be considered like a traitor because we don't accept to be offended like we just heard. And as if nothing had happened, he comes here with a smile in his face. But I think this is a big mistake on part of President Peña.
But it is his mistake then, because the president invited Trump. This isn't an insurgency. He asked him to come down. He asked both candidates. Trump seized the initiative. Why don't you see it as a sign of perhaps improved relations? Right now we're dealing with seeing Trump change on the issue of immigration. Maybe the ugly talk early on was just to gin up support. Maybe he'll change his position with the president as well.
That you don't see that on a leader, and nor so on somebody that could be presidential. I mean, you cannot lie to people. You cannot take advantage of people all the time like he is doing, and you cannot cheat people. You have to be straight. You have to speak the truth. And this is what he has done none. So it's a very opportunistic move, and I hope U.S. public opinion, U.S. citizens can see this and finally see what is behind Trump, this false prophet that is just cheating everybody. It's a desperate move, and I don't see how it can work at all.
So why do you think President Peña invited him down? He has said he's not going to pay for the wall, that Mexico can't pay for it, but yeah, and then he invited him to come.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand, and I will not understand unless there is an explanation to it, except that Peña will take a very firm stand that he will reject and ask and commit him to apologize to all Mexicans here in Mexico and in the United States, and that he withdraws all those stupid proposals of building a wall, of putting together a trade war with Mexico, of limiting foreign investment into Mexico, of taxing imports from Mexico. I don't know where Peña is. I just don't understand. I understand Trump's move, very smart move, but very, very in a lying attitude, that he cannot be speaking the truth. How can you trust a guy like this, that this morning is coming with this message that tomorrow he will take a different stand? I don't understand what's going on here, and I really apologize for our president taking this step forward. I really expect from him, as all 130 million Mexicans, as all of our great brothers Mexicans in the United States, an explanation from both, from President Peña and from Trump himself.
President Peña Nieto's numbers aren't so good down there in Mexico. I think his popularity is at about 23%. Maybe he is looking to make a show of force, as you suggest, and help his popularity among the Mexicans. Let me ask you something about your change in tone, Mr. President. When you came on the show here in New York, you said, look, you know, I shouldn't have used the same type of ugly words that Donald Trump uses. We should have a dialogue. He should come down here. He should see what the issues are. He should understand what the real situation is. Now you seem very angry again. What happened?
That you do what I did as a citizen, and that you do as a Mexican that is worried about Trump becoming president in the United States. You don't do that as president of this great nation, which is Mexico, representing 130 million people. I'm sure he's going to be rejected by everybody here in Mexico. We cannot accept this going on. And yes, it could be a desperate move. He's just a day ahead or a day in advance of his address to the union, equivalent here in Mexico. And yeah, to me, it is a desperate move on both sides.
He has been changing what he's been saying about immigration here. He's not talking about the deportation force anymore. He's talking about working with people who are here, figuring out ways to do this that is humane. Does that improve your expectations of what would happen under a President Trump?
Certainly no, because you cannot trust a guy like this. How can we grant confidence and support to ideas that change every day? He cynically continues to disregard its own people and disregard Mexicans. And he's still firm on his stand that he will throw them out, that he will build the wall. You cannot play the music for both sides. He cannot get followers in the States that are xenophobic, that are his followers, the white American, and at the same time have the brown Mexicans, the immigrants, the minorities. It's either one of the two, or he should change his policies and be very, very reasonable on what he proposes. But how can you believe him when we are hearing right now that his wife violated migration laws in United States? How can now he be speaking like he is? How can he speak about trade war when he is manufacturing all his products for his business outside of the United States? So it's absolutely incongruent, absolutely inconsistent, and I appeal to people in the United States to think about what you're risking with this guy as president of that great nation. I just cannot envision him sitting on that chair that was the chair of President Washington, President Jefferson, President Kennedy, President Reagan, all the great presidents that that nation has had. This guy is not up to be a president. He is not presidential. He doesn't look presidential. He doesn't know how to run a nation. He don't even know how to run a business.
Former President of Mexico, Vicente Fox.